Hey everyone. So we're gonna come on today, and I've been meaning to get this out. And honestly, it's just when I'm driving is like honestly the best time to do it. So I want to talk to you guys about doing shrooms, sort of how you can create your own shamanic journey with it, and how you don't necessarily need other people to be your shaman. So I want to give you guys some tips on the first journey I took, but because I was led by spirit who told me what to do, it was an amazing experience. So I might see you. I'm like there's traffic, so like we're at 1 mile per hour. So then if I'm at a light, I'll look at the comments. Other than that, I'll just keep driving because y'all get nervous. So hey, you guys. So I want to tell you guys that about taking shrooms, how you can be your own shaman, how you can take your own journey, the experience, and why it's an amazing technology. So the last time I did it was maybe 4 months ago, and I'll probably be doing another one soon. So let's get into it, and let's talk about things people don't talk about, right? So when I do this, I did this as I wanted to sort of tap into my clairvoyance, see what it's about. It's about the awakening and expansiveness that would happen. And also, I had a very specific goal. I wanted to see my ancestors. So I don't do a lot of channeling work where I'm able to access spiritual medium. So I'm able to access my ancestors, but it's all by energy. I'm an energy worker and energy wielder. But I'm like, I want to see your faces. And I'm actually starting to finally see it because if you guys know, I've been working on my clairvoyance and that's coming in stronger and stronger every day. And I teach workshops on it. So, oh yeah, before we start on the journey, next week, if you're on my Patreon, I'm doing a workshop on how to check on the status of your manifestations and fix and heal anything that needs to be fixed or healed. I actually did this with my clairvoyance and other things that you need to heal. So we're going to be doing that, like clairvoyance, manifestation, and status health check, and fixing your manifestations clairvoyantly, and also checking the status of things by looking at its energy. And I'm going to show you how to look at energy and how to interpret it. So that'll be next week if you're my Patreon. If you're not my Patreon, I'll still link after the videos goes up, and I'll put a link to the Eventbrite if you don't want to do the monthly Patreon if you'd like to attend. So got that out of the way. Got that out of the way. So I was very specific about why I wanted to do this journey. So I would encourage everyone, if you do shrooms, like have a specific purpose, right? Now, to go into the history of shrooms, I'll go very briefly for you that don't know. You really can't have an overdose for shrooms. The only thing that happens is that you can build tolerance, you go off of it, and then it dissipates. It is not physically or mentally habit forming, right? So it is one of the most benign, what they classify as a drug. And I see why they classify it, but it's in no way a man-made thing. One of my spiritual advisors told me that, she was let it to be known that it's alien technology. So I know for some of you guys, you're like, what? No, there's just Earth. But the people who follow me know that there's more than Earth and that they visit and that, we're really integrated with them and that a lot of you guys are starseeds who come from these other galaxies. And when you do the work, you go to these systems. Like I'm going to tell you about my shroom trip. I went to go see my galactic ancestors. And it was really cool what I saw. So I just want to put it out there for like, what, alien? Yes, of course. Like, and everyone's about to find out with this awakening that's taking place. So when you find out and it throws you for a loop, you can come here and I can be like, yep, we all knew. And help you through this and let you know which ones you want to talk to and which ones you don't, because they're not all good, just like people. So it's alien technology, which I definitely seen, and I love it because basically the way it works is like your energy level, your thoughts, and all of your vibrations and your intentions will form the trend. So it should never be the same because you can never be the exact same vibrational energy at any time in space ever again. So I think that's brilliant that it's purely based off your energy, your frequency, your thoughts, and beliefs. So the cool thing is, so just have a purpose. I would do it. Now I had a friend who was like, "You want to do some shrooms to go on a roller coaster ride?" I'm like, "No." So like that's not personally. I don't do this to act goofy out in public. I don't do this. I don't drink to act goofy out in public. You know what I mean? Like if that's just not in my nature to do, I'm sort of taking this really seriously. So first thing so my intention is like, no, I don't want anyone around me. Like sometimes you want to do it with a friend, but I'm like, no, I don't want your energy affecting my energy. I don't want your talks interrupting me. I'm like literally going on a journey, okay? Like I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to get the answers to the universe, okay? Like I don't want you around. So I would recommend, you know, you can have someone who knows you're doing it, of course, but like, and to help you out. But if someone's there, it will affect your energy. So just keep that in mind. Now, why I was not concerned, listen, I cleansed my space, right? You can use sage, you can use whatever you want. I cleansed my space, so I knew there was going to be, outside of me, there was no negative energy. I asked the sage and the frankincense to protect my space. So that in itself, you had consciousness who said we would protect her space to what they felt. I told my higher self, my spirit, you know, protect me and make sure that nothing negative comes in. That's not what this is about. So before I even started spiritually, I had set up my spiritual anchors. I set up my spiritual space. I set up my spiritual protections. And I set up my spiritual consciousness to all make sure I was protected. Multiple levels between all those different consciousnesses I asked and invoked. When I got on that astral plane, I was going to be okay, right? So it all starts with your energy. And then for my own energy, I wasn't whacked out. And you all have discernment. If you're ever going to do this, like make sure you're not all whacked out, whatever. You're not scared. You're not fearful. Yeah. And, you know, just have someone who knows that you're doing. Now, so before I even started, I had an intention. I want to see my earth. Like, I didn't say earth. So that's going to come up. I just said I want to see my ancestors. Now, since I'm in this 3D body, I met my 3D ancestors because so many of them have stepped forward, like to help me, and I just know them as energies who help me and communicate with me, but I don't see them. So I'm like, no, I want to see you guys in a vision journey. I want to in a vision quest. And so I said that. So that was the intention. And I let my higher self handle it. So then I, you know, put the shrooms and tea, and I'm probably going to take this down and put it in my Patreon afterwards. So if you're on live, you're on live, but you know, it'll be for Patreon only because or maybe I might keep it up. It just depends on how I'm intuitively feeling about it when it comes time to it. So yeah, so you know, you put the shrooms in the tea. You put the I cleansed the shrooms because my higher self led me to know, like, the person you got them from, her energy was just. Now, there's some things that had happened that I had to cleanse and get off of me from that trip. So if other people aren't spiritually aware, they don't know what they're bringing back with them, right? And they think it's just a ghost. But because I'm aware and I can sense energies, I can see energies, I can talk, I can see the spirits, you bring things back with you. It opens up portals. We're gonna get to that. So there, and I looked at the person who I got it from. I can just tell, like, she's been doing this a long time. Because if you don't close all that up, you have a lot of outside influences in and around you that disturbs your energy field. So it's not just you I'm talking about. You're a little wigged out because it's not just you. It's you and a whole bunch of other hosts of people that you haven't removed or cleansed off of you, right? Because you didn't know that you needed to. So that's the only thing. Like, you really, like, I'm glad I'm doing this and I'm glad I'm getting the word out because so many people don't know what they're dragging back with you. And I'm very energy sensitive. You know, when you have things on you, they affect you. They whisper in your ear. They tell you things. They make you act a certain way. You know, so like cleansing your energy and not bringing anything back from the astral plane is very important. It isn't fake what you're seeing. Okay, you're just able to see in the astral, but it's not fake what you're seeing. So, so cleanse and protected the space. Set the intention for Earth ancestors. Cleanse the plant, and you know, put it in boiling tea. You boil it up, get it soft so that you can add to it. I would suggest putting on some cool music. Just put in music for the occasion, and you know, ready to go. I had the whole day to myself. So I'm inside, everything's closed, it's sort of dark outside. I don't know what's gonna happen. So now we're gonna get to the experience. So this is a plant. It is alien technology. It is beautiful. It's made for vibration. Set the space into the astral that you're being guided. So you know that, close curtains, got ready. So it was sort of fun because the first thing that happened was that I met my ancestors, my ancestors, galactic. Because they showed me all these places out in like Mars and this planet and that planet and space system, I was like, oh, okay, so we're in like outer space, okay. But the first thing that happened was like my hands started waving because they were like my galactic ancestors came up and they started just waving and playing with my arms, which I thought was really cute. So they're like, hi, Lisa, nice to see you. Nice that you made this trip to come visit us from Earth, right? So that was really fun. So that just made me laugh and giggle because you're just like being moved around by all these beings. And I'm curious because, you know, when you watch movies of like the 70s, I was like, do those people know when their arms are moving? Like, are they aware consciously that those are like beings, like with them, making their arms do that? And they're just like, this is just energy. I don't know. I'm aware of energy. I'm aware of spirits, and I'm aware of how prevalent them are. So I'm just always curious if other people are aware that's what's happening, or if they think it's just energy. I mean, the beings are energy. But I thought that was sort of fun. So that made me giggle. And then I just went on my trip. But at first, it's like that little weird stuff. Well, not weird, but it's like a fun place where it's like all the different multicolors, and it's like you're roaming through this multipolar reel and da 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 da. And it's actually pretty positive at first. It's like, oh, look at all the colors and lights, and you're going through that little place where it's like it looks like it's rolling out like the black and white, and it would get colorful. It's really cool. Yeah, it's like really cool to see all that. That's not why I was there, but I enjoyed that aspect because it was just weird, different images. You know, if you get like adult coloring books, it was like things like that. It was black and white at first, and then it got filled with more colors. So okay, I'm like, cool. But then the interesting stuff started to happen because my higher self was making sure I learned some lessons on the astral plane. So the first thing, I'm not gonna get too deep because it's a little personal, but the first thing that was interesting was that I saw different places, like different Martian type cities. I'm assuming Mars because it was a red planet. It could have been something else, but I think it was Mars. That was the intuitive feeling I got. And just different cities and stuff that was like on Mars. I saw different space stations and areas. And I also saw this weird little frog thing that was, now, okay, I'm going to get a little into it. This little frog thing was trying to take my energy. And I knew it was trying to take my energy. So I'm in, so I'm like, my eyes are closed. I'm in this like world, and I'm like, this frog's trying to take my energy. I'm not doing it. And I just knew. I'm like, I don't know what's going on this astral plane, but I'm very sensitive about my energy. If you guys have not, like, if I have not said that every video, I'm very sensitive about my energy because I know if you give it away, you give it in for entities to come back and feed off of you. So I am very, very, very in my dreams. I had a dream last night where, like, something was happening, and I was like, who's this person? I don't know. And I stopped it in my dream because even in my dreams, I'm like, I'm not doing anything where I exchange energy with you because I don't know if that might create a link where you can come back and do it. Now, I just got a thumbs up. Some of you guys know that too. I'm like, no, I don't do anything on this realm because everyone else who thinks this realm is just whatever. It's not whatever. It's a real realm. Okay? It is real. And whenever you do stuff like that, you are giving it in for something to come back and start feeding off of you when you're unaware and asleep. And if things feed off of you, not only do they give you their energy, but they're taking yours. So, yeah, so I was like, no. So there's this green toad, big eyes, like light green with big eyes, and had like a weird lips. And it was trying to get my energy. And I was like, no, I won't give it to you. So this was like a whole battle for, I think, like an hour. If I had to like calculate, it was like really long. I'm like, just going in my head, I'm like, even though I'm like in this trip, I'm like, nope. Nothing on this realm is taking my energy. No links, no nothing. Funny thing is, the little frog thing followed me because when I was awake and I went into meditation and started to see what was around me, there it was, trying to now I have protections and shields in place around me. So it was just like looking at my bubble that I create every day. And so good thing I shield and protect myself from the astral realm just because I'm aware of it and because I shine a light. And that's what I'm here for, to shine a light. Like, the sun is my dominant planet. I'm made to be that person that shines and anchors so other people who need that can get as much as they need. I have an unending source. I'm an unending source, but I'm also very discerning, right? So, protect your energy. So that happened. And then the other thing was, what else was of note that I wanted to talk about? I tried to control the trip. I was like, well, no, I meant Earth ancestors, I'm thinking in my head. So I'm like, I'm going to go visit my Earth. So I tried to jump off this galactic station and go to Earth. I got like really scared. Like this ladder I was stepping on like became really long. And I was like, I'm gonna fall. But I got back and I asked after the trip for my higher self and I was channeling. I was like, what was that? They're like, well, you try to control it. We're like, no, you let us control it. But I was like, yeah, but I said I wanted to see my ancestors. They're like, well, you did. Your galactic ancestors. I'm like, what? No, I'm at Earth. They're the ones. Now, both are important. Like at this stage in my development and evolution, listen, all my ancestors are important. All of them, galactic or Earth. And honestly, at this point, I honestly don't know. I know the ones that I work with and ask questions and guidance from are all healthy. I know they're magicians. I know they're amazing, and I'm starting to see some of them. Some wear like these robes that had like Earth, Moon, and stars. It was like gold, bluish purple, and it like draped like bell bottoms, but not quite. It was just flowy, and they were tall. Like those are my ancestors. It's color, like the color of my arm here. That's their skin colors pretty consistently. So you know, I have some level of likeness, but they're all tall, and I'm not. So whatever. It's sort of cool to see though. So you know, I work with all my ancestors, but it was just funny that I try to control it because I don't know if you guys know me, but I'm feminine, but I'm also very masculine in my energy. So I can be very much like, no, this is what we gonna do. Like, y'all ain't leading me nowhere. And she was like, nah, not today. Oh, we're gonna tell you what you're gonna do. Okay. I was like, all right. You know, I didn't say that at the time. I was just like, oh, I guess I'm not jumping to Earth because I said so. I will just lead and be led and follow. And so, yeah, that happened. I saw a galactic space station. Now, the reason they showed me this is all about my warrior training, because I actually went back to that in meditation. And the space, I was like, look at this. It was like a space station. Like, picture like a sci-fi, and you're looking into space, and it was all these like space capsules that were in space, and they like, you travel by like space car to this and space car to that. And it was interesting. I asked afterwards, why did you show me that? And we went to actually revisit it. And they're like, this is actually part of the universe and galaxy that's actually sort of negative, and it breeds a lot of negative beings and green aliens. And it was funny. So I astral projected there, or not projected, astral remote viewed. Sorry, you got to get the words right. Astral projections when your whole body goes, and this is just remote sensing. As your clairvoyance increases, you're able to go to different destinations. And I looked around, I saw this green being. He saw me and then followed me back. But then I learned how to get rid of them by shooting death arrows. Death arrows are a real thing. And when the first one I shot, like, there was this flash of light, and that scared me because it was like a clap of thunder. And I was like, what was that? They were like, that's just your power. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So all these things you're learning. And like, I was given the option if I wanted to destroy this world. That's a negative world. And so it was very interesting. My higher self was like, look, you say you're a warrior. Well, there's work to be done. So you want to do it or not? Now I'm fighting in lots of different ways. Trust me. And they're sending back a lot of, you know, when you fight, well, you become a target. So they send stuff back. But good thing that I'm being trained and coached in how to effectively deal with them every single day. And I'm getting really good at it. You guys have any spirit attachments? Let me know. We will get rid of them. I'm very good at that. So that's the training I've gotten. So it was really cool for her showing me the dark, while letting that negative being in and seeing how I reacted. She said it was really good that you knew not to let this being take your energy because it would establish a connection. So she was just like, so it was training. Like, my higher self is a warrior. So she puts me through training when we do things. I don't do things idly. It's like, no, you need to learn this because one day you're going to be put to service and to work. And these skill sets you are building is going to be the difference between why the light wins and the darkness doesn't. I don't know if you realize we're in spiritual warfare for real right now. So our lights need to be strong, you know. So I've always said this, I'm not the love and light kind. And every time I do this and I explain what my higher self is doing, you always see it like, no, you have to see the darkness. And sometimes you need to go and destroy the darkness. And sometimes the darkness will send some things back at you. And you're going to have to learn how to defend yourself. And that is what I'm doing. And actually, even though sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking, like it really can. And you're like, what the heck is this? Warlocks? Like, are you kidding me? This is real? Warlocks are real. Okay. All right. But I learned how to destroy them. So the astral realm is not a place for the weak. But if you're strong and you take that battle, it is really cool the skill set to get, because when I learned how to do things there, I learned how to do things in this 3D world. It is an amazing world, a skill set to have, because what you do in the 4D matters. So yeah, that was the journey. Was there anything else of note? Seeing my galactic ancestors, understanding that. You know, so those are like the major things that happened. And this was like 8 hours or so. And it was just really good. Now, the after effects were amazing too. So after, I went walking on the beach. And I was so magnanimous. I'm like, oh, you earth children. You're so cute. I was just like, you could have told me I was this magnanimous queen looking over at everyone. Like, oh, all the humans are cute children. So that I love that expansiveness, that, oh, it's such a big, great world, and all the things that we're doing is so insignificant, and, you know, what does it matter? We're all one. Like, so that was a really beautiful feeling. And I also got tapped in. I got all these good ideas about business and this and that. And they were like, well, what happened where you tapped into that collective energy and that collective wisdom? I was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. I was just like writing them down before I forgot. Yeah, well, then I could do this, then I could do this, then I could do this. And then it was, so that lasted like the, you know, the rest of the day and night, maybe the next few days. I know people microdose, and I'm like, I see why. I see why. You keep that up. You do get that sense of your soul, self, and expansiveness. Now, the one thing was, when I woke up to spirit saying, I am the light. I am the light. Now, they're not negative spirit. I have my house, you know, protected, that like, you ain't gonna be negative about this. Just not. You ain't gonna be comfortable. And, you know, I put up stuff the night before, the day of, the night before, like, you know, my place is anointed, okay? But that's what happened. So when I closed my eyes and I did a body sense, which you all can do, I saw that there were 3 portals that were open from that trip, and I closed them. So those 2 or 3 spirits came through that portal through me. So that's why I think it's really important to know about these things, because if I didn't know and I left them open, I would constantly have spirits coming through the portal that you that was created through that journey. And this will happen to a lot of people who do drugs and they don't know this is occurring. And those spirits are just hanging around you, so attached to you, okay? And you're just like, ugh, and then more attached, and then more attached. You have hundreds attached to you. That all influences your energy. You're not quite you. So if you see someone, you know, they're not quite there, not only is it like any deterioration of the brain, but there's also what beings are attached. Because if you don't know they're attached, and they attach to everyone, but I'm just going to be honest, they love attaching to me. I'm an energy source. I'm a light source. So it's not even that they're negative, because honestly, negative beings don't attach to me like that unless, like I said, maybe I'll tell you, if you guys want to know about the warlock thing, let me know and I'll tell you, because that was negative. But outside of that, but that was an intentional. I'll just tell you a little bit. So I've been doing some work on behalf of all the spiritual warfare going on, and so some minor demons and some warlocks after me because they found out I've been doing some manifestation works to reverse a lot of the BS going on in the world, like the mandates and da-da-da-da. And yes, they were effective to some extent, right? And so, you know, so they sent some stuff after me. So outside of that particular case that my ancestors and my spirit council helped me take care of and taught me some new skill sets on destroying entities, mostly it's not negative beings that attach, but when they do, it's just, you know, when you're a light, you're an energy source. And the astral realm, even for weirdo like spirits, is sort of scary. So like if you're a light, you brighten up the space. So they really like attaching to me, even if they're not negative. They're just like, oh, I'm just here because, you know, it's nice over here. It's bright, you know? And I'm like, no, sir. With my sprays. No, sir, you're not hanging on me. I'm too sensitive about my energy. That's why I shield, cloak, protect, and cleanse daily. So that's the thing with the portals. So that's just bigger than the shroom trips, but it definitely happens there, but it happens with other things. Just something to be aware of. So just close your eyes, sense, go, do you feel anything? Most of you guys are not, if you haven't developed it, you're not going to be that clear when there's spirits in the room. I am, because I can, I see the energy signatures, and then when I dig into meditations, I can actually see the spirits and entities. But if you don't have that discernment, if you're not at that high vibratory level, it's hard for you to, or the skill level, it's sort of hard for you to see. But you can always, anything you can, you know, if you can deep down the meditation, you can start tapping into that, so you can. So that was what we did, and it was a good experience. So I just wanted to tell you guys that you can be your own shaman. You can do your own shamanic journey. You can ask any questions you want. Just don't hesitate. If you're by yourself, that doesn't matter. Just don't hesitate to invoke the power of your higher self for protection. The sage and incense, you can put the intensity to protect. I even brought down, if you go to any of my energy courses, you can bring down white light of protection. Yes, it's real. If you don't believe it's real, go in the bathtub, bring the white light down, and when everything around you starts moving up, because just through water you can sense and feel the energy more than just through the air, then you'll be like, oh wow, wielding white light is like a thing on the mental. I actually suggest all of you guys do that anyways, just so you can see all the things that I wield, like it's real stuff. And yeah, so I would tend to recommend, but I recommend you take the precautions I took. Right, know that it is real, so don't let yourself get caught up in anything on the astral realm. Like, keep your good sense about you, but also know that it can be a beautiful way to see things that you've wanted to see or get insight and clarity, and ask your higher self to lead you into journey safely to do that. Take the extra precaution to cleanse your energy, cleanse your space as well, so you don't have negative strain energy impacting you, because it is made to go off the vibrations and the frequencies around you and in you. So like, clear your mind, like meditate, cleanse, take a spiritual bath, which I did first, right? Which is cleansing and calming and meditative. If you need to, I do not, right? Not at my level, but before I would have, meditate, right? Get those negative thoughts out. Journal if you need to. So whatever your energy and belief systems is and frequency will show up and manifest in the thing. And I think some people just do it without like giving it an intention. I'm like, that's such a waste. Like, you can literally see my one of my mentors was like, yeah, I saw the creation of the world. She was like, that's what they showed me. You can see whatever you want. You can ask your higher self. You can say, show me what you look like. I think next time I'll go visit my star family, which I'm going to talk about that, because I met mine, and I actually am royalty. Star family, dad, and yeah, which I don't know. You guys wouldn't be surprised to know, like, as my spirit self is royalty. You really shouldn't be surprised to know that. So yeah, you can do any of that. You can be your own shaman, but you just need to take precautions. You need to know what the issues might be, and you don't be scared of it. You circumvent it. You be proactive, and you manage it. You handle it with power, knowledge, and ability, right? Don't be scared of spirits. You learn how to handle them with power, knowledge, and ability. That's it. I want to get everyone who listens to me to that point, so none of this scares you. It's all about just practicing, going through the motions. So I'm going to end it there. Like I said, if you want to join my Patreon for next week, we're going to do a workshop. I will post a link as soon as I'm at my computer about the different like, next week is clairvoyant manifestation, and then clairvoyant manifestation and fixing any of your manifestations clairvoyantly. But then next month, I'm going to do something on, I think I'm going to do an advanced shielding and cloaking technique, because I've had to advance my shielding and cloaking. And for anyone who's taken my previous one, or just even if you haven't taken any, like, this is the era right now where spirits are trying to attach. They can barely attach to me, and they still are trying. So I know, if you're not aware, they are trying to attach to you. And it's important not to have these things on you unknowingly. And not just that, I'm going to teach you how to take it off other people, because I'm literally removing things from people all the time. They don't know. I just know. I can just sense, and so can you, when they're acting really funny. And I'm like, ooh, you're really going off. Okay, let me cleanse. Yep. Right there, you got a little demon on you. And it's important for not just be able to cleanse yourself, but I think it's important for everyone to know how to cleanse other people who are also unaware. And if you're following me, I expect and assume that you're sort of some level light worker, where you want to know how to do this, not only for yourself, but for others, and on others' behalf, especially for those who's taken they need a lot of spirit removal. So I have someone who is I do play dates with my daughter and their son, and I know they took the and so I'm aware of that. I just make sure we don't share any fluids. And I also, sometimes I can see her acting a certain way, and I'm like, she has something on her, right? And she doesn't do it at me. Like, my daughter has a lot of light. So sometimes, like, my daughter can be like such a fresh breath of fresh air. Sometimes adults with attachments, they look at her and they sort of like want to like dim the light. And I can just sense it, like when it's them versus like there's something on them really goading them to act that way. And then I cleanse them, I remove it on behalf of them. I call in there's a divine cosmic justice you can call on people and remove entities like that. But you know, and I give them a cleansing and I seal them up, and then all of a sudden everything that was there completely disappears if it was never, it wasn't them in the first place. And half these people going crazy on airplanes, half these people going crazy, all this violence escalating, guess what? This opened you up for hosting, being a host. It opened you up and gave instructions for you being a host. So I'm telling my friends who did get it, you need to cleanse yourself daily. You need to pull in some of my friends. A lot of my friends are really religious, so I'll use their word. Like you, I do it myself, but for them, you need to pull in God's, because they don't believe they can do it themselves. You need to pull in God's protection every day so that nothing can attach to you, and da 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 da, and His cloaking and protection. So yeah, so if you can make it, that'll be next month. The event shielding and and cloaking and removing spirit attachments, because it's not just for us, it's for all of our friends and families. And I'm also going to show you how to be discerning, where you can tell where someone might have some of those things and be able to be like, yep, okay, I knew it. So a lot of homeless people have a lot of attachments. So if they're going real crazy, I know I can sort of sense and then sense around them and be like, okay, let me cleanse this off of them. And they'll go from to quiet, you know, right in front of your eyes. And this is everyone, and no one knows how to do it. And so that is why I work so hard with these videos, to get people to wake up and not only know what happens, but how to deal with it and how to cleanse this, how to clean this world up spiritually, right? Like someone needs to do it, and it can't just be Lisa. I need thousands of people doing this every day, bringing all the light to this world. And we can, you know, and I wouldn't say this to everyone, but the people who follow me are all warriors. We're not the love and light kind. That's the people who are attracted to my energy and vibration. So, you know, we have to empower ourselves with this knowledge, not only for ourselves, for our family and our friends. Because I'm seeing some young kids who have attachments, and I was like, they're going down the wrong path, right? So I will let you guys go. I had to do this in a car because, you know, time. You know, I have a whole other business I'm working on too. So this is like, you know, my labor of love. I get a lot of spiritual abundance, which I'm going to talk about because I was able to do a wealth contract because of all the spiritual abundance I've gotten from this. And I'll let you guys know the details of that. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. Do you have any questions before I head on out? Because I'm parked and I can see them now. Anything? No? I'll wait a minute or two. Okay. All right. I'll be jumping on again. Thanks, guys. Bye. Thank you, Katisha.